Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity, sir, for being able to speak tonight. My name's Helen Piggott. I'm actually the President of the Wellingborough Chamber of Commerce and have been for the last 2 years. Firstly, may I say that Wellingborough Chamber of Commerce is fully committed to supporting the Rushden Lakes project. The Chamber does not think that there would be a major impact on Wellingborough Town Centre. The redevelopment of Wellingborough Town is now unlikely to include any major retail development in the medium or even longer term, either on Church Street, as Tresham are staying where they are, or as an expansion of the Swansgate, as this is in receivership and there is currently no owner. The strategy for Wellingborough High Street should be around independent retailers, its heritage, and as a service centre, which is what Wellingborough Council are pursuing. This is more complementary than competing with Rushden Lakes. The Chamber is very keen to encourage job creation both in the construction phase and for the longer term retail jobs that will be created within this exciting project. Wellingborough has a high unemployment rate, especially in the age range of 18 to 24 years. Job creation, especially for the younger age groups, is essential to the well-being and future of the area. So opportunities aligned to construction and access to apprenticeship scheme, which should be developed, will be vital for our young people. The presence of Rushden Lakes should also help to attract home buyers and increase demand for housing and thereby stimulate delivery of some of the stalled applications as better facilities will be on the doorstep. Wellingborough has over 6,000 consented houses which could be developed, but 2 major urban extensions have stalled due to weak market demand and viability issues. Unfortunately, the town centre has failed to attract the interest and investment required to ensure its redevelopment as envisaged by the Council's Area Action Plan, and the Chamber considers that the opportunity has now been lost. However, the Chamber is supportive of convenience and food retailing taking place in the town centre, and this may still be possible. More businesses will potentially be attracted to locate to Wellingborough Rushden area as it becomes more sustainable and better able to provide for the needs of their workforce. Local residents in the past have had to look to Northampton and Milton Keynes to fulfil some of their shopping needs. Wellingborough has a strong town centre, but a limited range of national and multiple stores, particularly for fashion retail. Having Rushden Lakes very close will provide a greater choice and limit the distance that people will need to travel to access these facilities. I noted a letter recently published in one of our local newspapers which I believe sums up the strong feelings about this whole project. It said, and I quote, "Northampton, Kettering and Corby have had many years of growth and many years to make sure their towns are what shoppers want. So along comes Rushden Lakes and all of a sudden all 3 are running scared." You may remember also that Northampton had the massive opportunity to have IKEA, but declined and therefore lost a golden opportunity to Bletchley and Milton Keynes. We now have a wonderful opportunity to have a major facility that would stop money being lost to towns such as Milton Keynes and Peterborough. This amazing new shopping opportunity will improve the area and bring much needed prosperity for many years to come. It has our total vote. Thank you.
My name's Harry Graham, past chairman of Northamptonshire County Council, chairman of the East Midlands Planning Forum and former chairman of the NACC County Council Planning, Transport and Environment. I'm secretary of UK Older People's Advisory for 4 years until 2008. I'm now secretary of Rushden Pensioners Forum, speaking in support of the Rushden Lakes proposal. There's no doubt that this important development will improve the health and well-being of local residents in Rushden and the surrounding districts, especially for older people. Leisure facilities in Rushden at this time are not generous, but this scheme will provide an opportunity for pleasant walks among wildlife trails, encouraging people to be fitter and healthier. This is a very important older people and should be actively encouraged. To have this facility on the doorstep of Rushden will ensure that it is well used and easily accessible. These proposals also bring with them a much improved public transport service, ensuring that older people that I represent will be able to get out and about. The town currently has a very poor bus service and is only available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Saturday. This often leaves people stranded and does not encourage movement due to the limited numbers of operation. There is no current bus service to Northampton on Sundays. The new bus service will be much improved and will link the town with this new development. This will stop many people feeling isolated, particularly at weekends. Rushden Lakes is not an out-of-town planning application, but will be an integral part of the renewal of leisure and shopping facilities, which we require in Rushden. We cannot miss this opportunity to greatly improve our environment at all levels. We do have the vision for the future needs of the town, and it includes Rushden Lakes. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Mr. Spriggs. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I stand here very much in favour of development at Rushden Lakes. My name is Jack Spriggs, and in May this year I was chosen to serve on Rushden Town Council representing Hayden Ward. According to the Local Government Association, I'm the youngest councillor in the country, and probably the youngest speaker you're going to have here today too, which is great because it gives me a chance to give you a young person's perspective on this development, which I believe is going to be absolutely crucial to my generation. The reason I got involved in politics is because I believe that it is vitally important to get out there and represent everyone. People who not only want to be represented, but people who desperately need and deserve to have their voices heard. The people I'm speaking up for today are my generation, the hard-working young people of Rushden and North Northamptonshire. The current economic climate has made it difficult for anyone to secure full-time employment. Can you imagine being a young person today with limited work experience, a distinct lack of transport, and qualifications which seem to have been devalued by society? If you can't, let me tell you, it makes the already difficult task of getting a job nigh on impossible. In Rushden this summer, hundreds of people are going to be leaving school, either leaving school at 16, finishing education at 18, and coming back home after completing university. Of course, we can all stay at school, and if we can stomach the debt, we can even go to university. But sooner or later, each and every one of us is going to need to get a job. And whatever level you go in at, it's pretty difficult, because jobs in Northamptonshire are pretty few and far between right now. I know many of my friends are faced with the same tough choice that I was this time last year. It's the choice of either sitting at home and trying your very best to get a job somewhere here, or having to accept that there's absolutely nothing here and going further afield to places like Leicester, Birmingham and London. That's really sad because I think this is a fantastic place to live and to grow up. But without jobs and opportunities, there's nowhere for us to go, and so people have to think about moving on. Rushden Lakes gives us the perfect chance to change that. It's going to have a massive impact on the hard-working young people in this town. The 2,000 jobs that will be created simply cannot be ignored, and a large number of those jobs will go to people here in East Northants, in Wellingborough and even in Northampton. Northampton, for one of the region's growth towns, doesn't seem to have grown an awful lot in the way of creating jobs for the county's young people. Why should the hard-working young people of Rushden and Higham have to go without when we have the perfect opportunity to counter the region's structural unemployment? It's not just the jobs that the scheme directly creates either, because even if working in a garden centre or a clothes store isn't for everyone, with that much more money and employment in the town, it's bound to have a huge impact on the area as a whole. Local people aren't going to have to go off anywhere else to spend their money, so it has to boost the local economy, and that in turn is going to create all kinds of jobs in other sectors. Mr. Inspector, I'm a fairly creative person, and I think if I'd have had more investment in my local area when I was even younger, in things like the creative arts, in capital projects like skate parks and leisure facilities, and in the local schools network. For all those reasons, and many more which my colleagues have successfully put to you this evening, I absolutely urge you to recommend the Secretary of State to approve this vital project. Thank you very much.
My name is Helen Danzig, and I'm the chairperson of Yes to Rushden Lakes. I'm speaking today not because I'm a senior member of the council or even the town, but because I'm a Rushden homeowner and a housewife who feels very passionately about the lakes. I became involved in this campaign and started the Facebook page because I was compelled to do something as I felt so strongly about the fact it was being challenged. We as a town have never felt more determined about this venture. Since setting up the site in mid-February, we have had over 2,120 likes and 1,000 comments. All are encouraging and cheering for it to happen. With every story we are highlighting, we have sometimes 5,000 hits on just one story in a day. I would invite you, Inspector, to visit the Rushden Lakes Facebook page so you can see for yourself that not just Rushden people are championing this to happen, but also people of Kettering and Northampton are empathising. Why, therefore, are the councils being so unreasonable? We have never challenged their developments. I get angry when I hear that these councils are spending so much money fighting our much-needed build. It encourages growth, jobs and hope for all of Rushden and surrounding towns. Northampton built Riverside, which has since been extended, and this did not endanger their shopping centre, so why should Rushden Lakes have any impact? Surely, if people don't want to shop in Corby, they will go to, say, Peterborough, and Northampton people would hop down one junction to Milton Keynes rather than come to Rushden. I want the best for my town and my children, and dream that one day my 6-year-old daughter may get married at the proposed hotel they will build. I like to visualise children riding their bikes down to the lakes and spending their day there and meeting up with families for dinner or shopping. I have 2 young children and want a better future for them, as well as all of the other children in the area. I myself, as a general member of the public, speak as a parent and wish for my children and others to grow up with hope and see Rushden Lakes as this legacy. Thank you. Any questions?
Right, well, that concludes the list of speakers who've given the names, to speak tonight. I was just going to give an opportunity to anyone who does still wish to speak, provided it is on something that we've not heard already. I don't want you just to duplicate anything that we've heard. But is there anyone, before we close the meeting, who does wish to say anything that we've not heard already? Right. Okay. If not, I just want to thank everyone for coming along tonight. Thank you for all the contributions that have been made. I can assure you that I will take all of the comments that I've heard, together with the written representations that I've received, into account before I write my report. And in so doing, I will recommend to the Secretary of State accordingly. So thank you very much for coming along, and I just wish you good night. The inquiry will resume again tomorrow at 9:30 in Thrapston. Thank you.